Now let's start things off by taking a look at what Adobe Photoshop CS2 can do for you. So we'll sort of whisk our way through a sample project inside Photoshop, and you'll get a sense of just the myriad things you can do with an image editor as powerful as Photoshop. And to that end, I have two images open, the Stanley.jpg and rollinghills.tiff. Now, as it turns out, I'm not encouraging you to open up these files. Later on, starting in the very next lesson, in fact, you and I are going to be working together. But for now, I'd just like you to sit back and relax and watch me at work, just to get a sense of what it is you can do. Now, if you decide later to go ahead and open up these files, try it yourself, you want to experiment along, what have you, they're both inside the Lesson 1 folder, which is inside the Part 1 folder, which is inside the Project Files folder that you should have gone ahead and installed to your hard drive. Now, I should mention that if you decide to go ahead and open up these files at this point, you will probably see a color warning associated with each file. Just go ahead and click on the OK button. We'll come back to why those color warnings appear in the very next lesson. But as I say, you probably just want to kick back, relax, watch me at work. Now, the reason this image is called the Stanley.jpg is because this hotel way there in the background, that's the Stanley Hotel. It's in a place called Estes Park, Colorado. And I shot this image, this sort of ratty image, frankly, out the window of a moving car. So it's not a splendid image. Didn't set up the camera on a tripod. I made no effort to make it look good while I was shooting the photograph. Sort of bad composition. But it turns out this hotel that I shot a picture of here has a history, and I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. It's a nice old sort of, Victorian-style hotel. I wouldn't know such things. But it's an old hotel from the last century, or it's century before that, really, in Estes Park. And it was the hotel that inspired The Shining. But you can see here, even though it is an old hotel up in the mountains, and you can imagine they get a lot of snow there, which they do, if Shelley Duvall was running away, escaping for her life, she could just go over here to, like, the Kentucky Fried Chicken or the Safeway and find somebody and they'd help her. So they're not out in the middle of nowhere. They're actually very close to a lot of other stuff, shopping malls and stuff like that. And there's even over this way, there's even like a movie theater. So she could go, spend some time seeing a movie or something. Anyway, the point is, the Stanley's not nearly so far away from town as it ought to be. Well, I want to make it appear more isolated, for one thing. I also want to fix this photograph so it doesn't look so the way Colorado really does look about this time of year, sort of gray, sort of blanched, sort of not very welcoming. I want to boost up these colors.